Phillies Nation, let's cut through the noise, shall we? How many more sleepless nights are we going to endure, staring at the ceiling, wondering if our beloved JT Realmuto will ever put pen to paper? Are we truly prepared to face a season where the blockbuster isn't behind the plate, but a gaping hole where our all-star catcher used to be? Because let me tell you, the clock is ticking, and while we all hold our breath for the return of the big fella, the Phillies front office, bless their hearts, is starting to make moves that scream Plan B, and frankly, it's a plan that's making some of us a little queasy. We've been riding this emotional roller coaster for weeks, haven't we? The JT Realmuto saga has become the offseason's most agonizing drama, a high-stakes poker game where the Phillies are trying to play it cool, but every fan in the Delaware Valley can feel the tension. He's 35, yes, but he's still the guy. The premier free agent catcher, a defensive wizard, a power bat, and the heart and soul of this team. The market is thin, almost barren, for catchers of his caliber. And that scarcity, my friends, is exactly why these negotiations have dragged on like a ninth-inning rally that just won't end. The Phillies want him back, desperately. We want him back even more so. But the reality of professional sports, the cold, hard business side, means that even while hope springs eternal, contingency plans must be drawn. And that's where our story takes a turn, a subtle but significant shift that tells us the Phillies aren't just sitting idly by, twiddling their thumbs. They're preparing for a world without JT, a world none of us truly want to imagine. Earlier this week, a quiet transaction slipped through the cracks, a move that might seem minor on the surface, but speaks volumes about the uncertainty swirling around Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies have officially signed a 3-year Major League veteran catcher to a minor league deal. A minor league deal, folks. This isn't the splashy headline we've been craving, the definitive answer to our catching woes. No, this is the sound of the front office hedging their bets, laying down a safety net just in case the Realmuto dream turns into a nightmare. It's a pragmatic move, yes, but one that underscores the precarious position we find ourselves in. This isn't about disrespecting the new acquisition, it's about the stark reality of what it represents. It's a stark reminder that the Phillies are actively exploring options, even if those options are far from ideal. The dream scenario, the one where JT is back in red pinstripes, remains our fervent hope. But the actions of the front office, the quiet signing of a veteran depth piece, tell us they're not taking anything for granted. They're preparing for the worst, while we, the loyal fan base, continue to pray for the best. The emotional weight of this situation is immense, and every small move, every rumor, every passing day without a Realmuto signature only amplifies the anxiety. We're on the edge of our seats, not just for the season to start, but for this agonizing off-season drama to finally reach its climax. So, who is this new face, this potential Plan B that the Phillies have brought into the fold? His name is René Pinto, a 29-year-old catcher with 83 games of Major League experience, all of them with the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, let's be clear, Pinto is not JT Realmuto. He's not a household name, he's not an all-star, and he's not going to single-handedly carry this team. But his signing, while on a minor league deal, is a calculated move, a piece of the puzzle that reveals the Phillies' strategic thinking, or perhaps their strategic desperation, as the Realmuto negotiations continue to stagnate. Pinto's journey to Philadelphia is a testament to the grind of professional baseball. After being waived by the Rays at the end of the 2024 season, he bounced around AAA, spending time in the Arizona Diamondbacks and, notably, the Toronto Blue Jays organizations. Think about that for a second. He was with the Blue Jays, a team that just experienced the heartbreak of a narrow World Series loss in November. And after that, he elected free agency. Why? Because he was looking for a club with less catching depth than Toronto. And that, my friends, is where the Phillies come in. Consider the landscape. If Realmuto doesn't return, the Phillies' projected opening day catchers would likely be Rafael Marchán and Drew Stubbs. Now, Marchán has shown flashes of potential, a defensive-minded backstop with a decent arm. Stubbs is a younger prospect, still developing. Neither of them, however, carries the offensive punch, the defensive prowess, or the veteran leadership that Realmuto brings to the table. This is where Pinto's signing becomes more than just a minor league depth move. It's a direct response to the potential void. He's a veteran presence, someone who has seen major league pitching, albeit in limited stints. He's a known quantity, a fallback option to provide some stability and competition in spring training. Let's dive into Pinto's numbers for a moment. In his brief major league career, he's posted a .231 batting average, launched 10 home runs, and boasts a solid .404 slugging percentage. Those aren't eye-popping numbers, but they're not entirely insignificant for a backup catcher. The key, as the analysts will tell you, is his on-base percentage. If he can improve that, if he can get on base at a better clip than he has in the past, he could absolutely carve out a role as a useful second catcher on a major league roster. He's got some pop, he's got experience, and he's coming to a team where the opportunity, however grim the circumstances, is undeniably there. This isn't about Pinto being the savior. This is about the Phillies acknowledging the very real possibility that they might need someone to step in. It's about creating competition, pushing Marchand and Stubbs, and ensuring they have a veteran presence in camp who understands the demands of the big leagues. The tension in this situation is palpable. Every day that passes without a Realmuto deal is another day where the Phillies have to seriously consider these Plan B options. And while we all want the fairy tale ending, the front office is showing us, through moves like this, that they're preparing for a much more challenging reality. The climax of this story, the ultimate decision on Realmuto, looms large, and every small piece of news, like Pinto's signing, only heightens the drama. So, what does René Pinto's arrival truly mean for the Philadelphia Phillies? It means the front office is doing its due diligence. It means they're not putting all their eggs in the JT Realmuto basket, no matter how much we, the fans, wish they would. It's a pragmatic, albeit somewhat disheartening, acknowledgement that the future behind the plate is far from certain. This isn't a move that excites the fan base. It's a move that solidifies the anxiety. It's a reminder that even the most beloved players can become pawns in the high-stakes game of free agency. The implications are clear. If Realmuto walks, the Phillies will be scrambling. Marchand and Stubbs, while promising, would be thrust into roles they might not be fully ready for, especially on a team with World Series aspirations. Pinto, in this scenario, becomes a crucial piece of depth, a veteran who can spell the younger guys, provide a different look, and potentially offer a bit more offensive consistency than a pure rookie. But let's be honest, the gap between Realmuto and any of these options is a chasm, not a crack. And that's the emotional core of this entire situation. We're not just losing a player, we're potentially losing a leader, a cornerstone, and a fan favorite. This signing, while minor, forces us to confront the uncomfortable truth. The Phillies are preparing for a worst-case scenario. They're building a roster that can function without Realmuto, even if it won't thrive in the same way. It's a testament to the relentless nature of the offseason, where every team is constantly evaluating, adjusting, and planning for every conceivable outcome. For the Phillies, that means bringing in a player like Pinto, a professional who understands his role and is ready to compete for a spot, even if it's a backup one. Ultimately, the fate of the Phillies' catching position still rests on JT Realmuto. His decision will dictate the trajectory of this team and the impact of every other move, including Pinto's. This minor league signing is a footnote in the grand scheme of things, but it's a footnote that screams volumes about the current state of affairs. It's a stark reminder that in baseball, as in life, you always need a backup plan. So, Phillies Nation, what do you think? Does this signing make you more nervous about Realmuto's return, or do you see it as a smart, necessary move by the front office? Are you ready to embrace a season without our star catcher, or are you still holding out hope for that blockbuster announcement? Let us know in the comments below. Your passion, your insights, your frustrations. We want to hear it all. And if you're as invested in this team as we are, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single update on this wild off-season ride. Let's keep this conversation going because together we are Phillies Nation.